Welcome to Playoff Central Live, presented by State Farm. Nabil Kareem alongside Brendan Haywood and Dennis Scott. 2 games on this day in the second round in the NBA, and we got to begin with Minnesota and Golden State, because without Steph Curry, you don't know what you're going to get with the Golden State Warriors.
He was there support.
He was there. Yes.
That man really showed up. Jimmy Butler said he had to be more aggressive, said he could put up 40. Didn't get 40 in this one. But, boy, was he ever good. We saw with Anthony Edwards, though, getting into the lane.
Yeah, I thought early in the game that he was being more focused of attacking, not shooting the three, and just right here, just using that body perfectly.
A little later on, it's Buddy Hield to Jonathan Kuminga.
Man, listen, Kuminga looked absolutely phenomenal. 30 points off the bench. He was aggressive and putting pressure on the T-Wolves all game long. And so was this guy.
Back to playoff Jimmy we go, and that's what he looked like in this game. Playoff Jimmy. Naz Reid.
Naz is like,
leave it.
Bang. What's that, Shooter's Paradise?
Yes, sir.
Then he hands off to Julius Randle, wide open.
Leave it again.
And he had a ball game himself. Hey, 3D, he had a triple-dub.
Yes, he did.
A triple-dub.
Steph's evaluating the stat sheets like, what can my guys do better? And what'd you say, Nabil? Playoff Jimmy.
There you go. Drives in for the dunk. Then Kuminga. They say Kuminga and Butler couldn't play together.
Who said that?
Everybody.
Well, everybody's wrong tonight.
Not anybody watching this game.
Yep. That narrative is now squashed. Jonathan Kuminga, again, big-time props to him for a guy who hasn't played a lot as of late.
Yeah, listen, he was out of the rotation, continued working the way Ant-Man is working on the rim right there. Wow, look at that pass by Randall and Ant-Man throwing it down. But that wasn't even his best dunk of this game.
Jimmy Butler this time.
Oh, excuse me.
Where'd he go?
Excuse me.
Hey, that was just efficient one dribble spin cycle at the rim.
And there's that combination here. Butler to Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga, 30 points in this game, a playoff career high, and one. And with that bucket, Golden State up 63-62 after he would make the free throw. Anthony Edwards in, driving in. Watch
out! Watch yourself.
See, Looney, he's getting back at you because Kuminga got him early.
Hey, man, that man got a family, man. You can't do Looney like that, man.
Yeah, take flight.
Looney family, look away!
AE5, flight to the moon.
15 points for Anthony Edwards in that third quarter alone. Kuminga not going away. Golden State still up. Then in the fourth quarter, Minnesota starting to make their comeback. They go through Julius Randle.
Big time fighting for that ball, guys, making sure Draymond didn't get a piece of it to the rim. And then finally, Ant-Man's three ball started falling in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's not afraid to take those shots.
Listen, he worked on it. He took a lot of them. Was criticized early in the season for taking those three-point shots, but it's paying off now.
Shout out to Rudy Gobert. Limited minutes for him because of foul trouble, but he put up stats, man.
Yeah, Julius, I was like, where are you going with this? And Rudy cleaned things up. And then B. Will, you talked about Julius Randle's triple-double. Goes right back to Ant-Man, three-ball corner pocket.
And that right there was a dagger. As a 20-7 run by Minnesota late in this game seals at 102-97 the final. Anthony Edwards finishing with 36. Julius Randle with that triple-double led by his 24 points. Here is Julius on his approach on the court.
I feel like I just got like a lot of different tools, you know what I mean? So it's just really about using my mind and taking what the defense gives me. I talk to C. Hines all the time, and he tells me I can do everything. So, for me, it's just about like taking, like I said, taking what the defense gives me. If it's a three, take it, trust my work.
It's extremely important. It's really what turned our season around was his playmaking, his decision-making, playing through him in different spots of the floor. It took us a little while to figure that out. I've always known he's a really good playmaker. Our time in New Orleans, he played a little bit like this. He's just he gives us just another almost another point guard like out there. So yeah, it's everything for us. It's been everything for our turnaround. It's everything for our team. So
if we don't win, we damn sure don't have to worry about getting Steph back this year. So we gotta put our big boy pants on and go out there and compete at a high level and get this one on Monday. And then we can worry about the next one after that. But, get some rest, recover, dominoes, coffee, kids.
I'd love to try some of his coffee with $20.
Nah, man, that coffee's right expensive.
Hey,
too expensive.
It
better be strong.
And you kind of cheap, Nabil.
Big time.
Kind of cheap.
I'm going to have to expense that per diem if I'm going to get that coffee. Listen, let's start with Julius Randle because we always start with Anthony Edwards, but Julius Randle, it feels appropriate after this game in that triple-double.
Yeah, Julius Randle really had a big-time performance, and it was just one. When you talk about a guy that got a triple-double right here, he's doing everything in the game. He's rebounding, he's passing, he's getting the assists. He's a bully. He was on the block. He was just making winning plays, and he was making plays that maybe previously he would have shot these shots or he would have tried to be a little bit more aggressive. But he would get the offensive rebound, find Anthony Edwards. He was getting the ball in the mid-post. He was making good passes. Just because they call your play doesn't mean you have to shoot the ball. And that's what it seemed like Julius Randle really learned in this playoffs as opposed to playoffs of the past.
And then when you look at Anthony Edwards, his first half, kind of a slow start for him, but that second half, 3D, he just took off.
Yeah, he's special. He knows that. We all just wonder why in a game like this, what took you so long to put your imprint. So when you look at these stats right here, they speak for themselves. And you talked about it, Nabil, for 3 quarters, it's like he's just being Anthony Edwards. Then that 20 run they put on, he went into Ant-Man. He went to that superhero, getting to the paint, putting pressure on the defense. And then the 3 ball started coming because he was getting to the paint and getting easy layups. So from a leadership standpoint, B. Wood, you hit it early in the ball game. He was feeding his teammates. He only had 4 assists, but he was giving the ball up early to give, confidence to the rest of his teammates. And that's why they were able to close out the ball game.
Jimmy Butler, in a losing cause, goes for 33, 7, and 7. They need this version of Jimmy Butler if they're going to have any chance in this series.
Yeah, Jimmy's a really smart basketball player, and he's a cerebral basketball player. So a lot of times he comes out and he's feeling the game out, seeing what does my team need? Do they need me to be a facilitator? Do I need to be a scorer? Well, the answer to that is he needs to be a scorer right from the jump, right away. And I like the fact that he answered the bell. He didn't wait. I thought he was a little bit passive in Game 2. Game 3, he came out there right from the jump. He understood, listen, there's no Steph Curry. I understand the assignment. I have to be aggressive. I have to set the tone and have my teammates follow me. I look for him to do the exact same thing in Game 4. He's known as being a big-time playoff performer. He's not new to this. So I think he'll be ready, and he'll be aggressive yet again.
He will be ready, and I like his leadership conversation, in the postgame saying that my guys are fine. The only person, in my opinion, B. Wood, if you can get Podziemski to go maybe 4 of 10 or 5 of 10 instead of 1 of 10, and everyone else play the way they play because they're in the basketball game for 3 quarters into that fourth quarter 20-point run they went on. Then, of course, the Wolves win the ball game.
Listen, I'm super interested to see what Jonathan Kuminga does in the next game.
He's going
Because
to play
for the
well
last
again.
2 games,
Yes.
when given the opportunity, people are going to be like, "What? Why has this guy not been playing?"
Whoever said what they said, whatever he and Steve Kerr have been going throughout the season, I know he had hurt the ankle, hurt in January, came back late March, probably could have come back a little earlier. There was some conversation about that. Whatever it is, get over your emotion. He needs to be playing.
I give him a lot of credit because a lot of times when you're out of the rotation, you see guys go to a dark place mentally. They get disgruntled.
Mm-hmm.
They're not working as hard. They're just in a place where they just can't really, really function. And so for him to do that in these last 2 games in the playoffs, come off the bench and just really find a way to contribute. And listen, he was out of the rotation. I mean, hey, listen, Kerr had him in the freezer.
He
had him in the back of the freezer beside the baking soda. Listen, it was just one of those situations where give Kuminga credit. He came out there. He did what he was supposed to do.
Come on, man.
And he made a big-time impact, 30 points. I mean, outside of Jimmy Butler, he was easily their best player.
In a weird kind of way, Steve has to play him now because now Steve looks kind of on the other side had to be something else going on while this man wasn't playing. Right. So now he's ready to go.
All right, 102-97 the final here. So Minnesota taking the 2-1 series lead. Now, after a couple 20-point collapses, the Boston Celtics finally getting it right. Shooting out the lights versus the New York Knicks. We got the goods coming up.
Free Jonathan Kuminga.
All right, Game 3 between Boston and New York. The Knicks up 2-0 in this series. Kind of surprisingly, to be honest. The Garden hopping in this one, seeing if the Knicks could make it a 3-0 series lead. One of the big problems for the Celtics has been 3-point shooting, but that wasn't the case in this game.
No, it wasn't the bill, and I was wondering what JT was talking about pregame. We're going to be who we are. We're going to take the same shots, but let's give the team credit, B. Wood. The ball was moving and the shots was popping.
Yes, indeed. And listen, you can't leave this guy open. Peyton Pritchard, wide open for three. He came off the bench, had a big-time game, 23 points, 5 of 10 from the three-point line.
Yeah, Boston started 6 of 7 from 3 in the first quarter. Off the miss here, Jaylen Brown.
Ooh, get the bounce, get the roll.
A little later on.
Brown.
Kristaps Porzingis still fighting off that mysterious illness. Gets the block.
I love how Derek White slowed down, gathered himself, and finished the play.
More Tatum.
Now, OG, you cannot back up. The Celtics make their first 5. Now you're in a rhythm three-point shooting contest now. JB with another.
The defense kind of suspect on those threes, it feels
Very
like.
suspect.
71-46 at the break. More threes. That's Derek White. Off the miss here. And check out Al Horford.
The ageless wonder. Al Horford. Uncle Al. Oh, don't turn him around like that, Peyton. Watch out.
Got him dancing.
More Pritchard here. So I'm taking it into the lane.
Patience, slow down, let the big guys jump past you and finish with a nice reverse.
New York tried to make a couple runs, kind of get within 14, 15 points, but never really threats. Boston keeping its foot on the gas in this one. Tatum, 22 points in the contest as Boston goes on to win 115-93. Peyton Pritchard leading the way with 23 in the game. Here's Joe Mazzulla on embracing the challenge of being down in this series.
You get caught up when your expectations aren't met, and so there's no expectations there. We're on a path of trying to go after greatness, and you don't get to dictate the test that's in front of you. All you get to dictate is how you approach it and how you respond to it. So if you plan on doing this for a long time, trust me, it'll be a lot worse than those last 72 hours, and that's the perspective you have to have. So this is the fun part. You don't get into the journey for it to be easy. So it's been dark, but in a good way.
You got to beat us 4 times. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Not twice, not once, not 3. You got to win 4 games. So it's a lot of basketball to be played.
They're going to shoot their threes however they get them. So fortunate enough for us that they were missing games 1 and 2. Tonight they made them. Yes, they're a great team. They have the experience. They're the defending champs. I just don't think we want to be in the 20-point hole each game. It's not going to suit us well.
Boston going 20 of 40 from 3. I mean, they shot the lights out across the board in every category, but 20 of 40 from 3D. And again, they had that belief. This is the way we do things. And they got it going. When you look at the numbers from games 1 and 2, a stark difference.
No, it's a big-time difference. And B. Wood, you know how much I love the three-point line. It's a big friend of mine.
Shooter's
on, man. So before the game, I was like, even I'm going to take the ball to the basket a couple times when you are 25 out of 100. But JT told us we're going to be who we are. So when you're watching this game early on, they're getting the same shots. They're getting rhythm shots, and the double team comes. The ball movement's perfect. 6-man a year in the corner, 3-ball corner pocket, splash. So when they start out 5 of 5, I think it was 6 of 6, and they just kept making shots. This is how they play. OG goes under, poor communication with Cat. You step into another big 3. Now the Celtics are playing their basketball. Now they're getting the stops they want to get. Now the ball. Look at how they knew where White would be, because that's where he was in games 1 and 2. He just missed those shots the guys were talking about. And now you're saying, I believe you, JT. I'm wrong. I thought you should have mixed it up a little bit more, which you did, which JB showed us in the highlight and was able to get out of the double team and find the open man. And that's why they shot the basketball better and stayed to who they are.
Yeah, listen, the Boston Celtics got quality looks tonight. The first 2 games, they got a lot of quality looks. They didn't knock them down. Tonight, they hit it at a 50% clip. And anytime you're shooting that level from the three-point line, it's going to be hard to beat a team. Boston takes a lot of threes, and when they're shooting that higher percentage, it's going to be hard to knock that team off. On the flip side, if you're the New York Knicks, you have to look at the quality of looks that Boston has gotten from the three-point line and make some slight adjustments to your defense. This team is not afraid of being down. We've seen them down before. Let's not forget, a couple years ago, they were down 3-0 to Miami and took that series to 7.
Right.
So this team definitely believes in themselves. They've won a championship. They have that pedigree. If you're the Knicks, you have to come out with a lot more fight, especially on the defensive end and at the three-point line.
It was night and day for Peyton Pritchard, man. He was outstanding in this game, just a killer.
Well, we always talk about road guys. I think you talked about it before. Road guys play better at home versus on the road. Well, Peyton Pritchard reminded us why he was 6th man of the year, and this is somebody on the biggest stage with so much pressure in Game 3, B. Wood, and he stepped up majorly.
Yeah, listen, Pritchard definitely stepped up, like you said, doing it on the road. When most of the time we see the role players do it on the road, doing it at all places. Madison Square Garden.
Come on, man.
Down 0-2.
Come on.
Man, come on now.
So that lets you know, because if I check the stat sheet, what was Tatum tonight? 8 of 20.
Mm-hmm.
So now your sixth man of the year can come off the bench, put his imprint on the game, and now your superstar have to have that superstar game because all your guys step up on the road.
Yeah, Pritchard 5 of 10 from 3 in
man.
this game. Al Horford. Tell me about Al Horford and why he is still so effective at his age. I know we keep talking about age, but it really shouldn't be a thing.
Al Horford, 38 years old, playing like he's 28, stepping in tonight. Obviously, no Porzingis. Unfortunately, he has the illness. But Al Horford steps in, gives them 15 points to go along with 2 blocks. 9 rebounds.
34 minutes.
35. Don't shortchange him.
That's shortchange Al?
Yeah, 35.
My bad, Al.
35 minutes, knocked down 3 or 4 behind the three-point line as well. Al Horford is just one of those guys that just does everything right. The way he prepares, the way he handles that locker room. You talk to anybody on that staff, and they say, we couldn't be the team we are without Al Horford. Mm-hmm. He is just an extension of the coaching staff in that locker room, and then when he steps on the court, he can still play. He can't do this every night, but he can channel it and do just enough when called upon, and he will always be ready.
On the flip side of things, Karl Anthony Towns, 21 points, 15 rebounds in this game. Didn't shoot it well, just 5 of 18. But this is definitely something that's concerning right there. You see him in that hand hitting Luke Cornett in the chest.
Ooh. Like his hand got caught up in his shirt.
The second quarter, yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah, you can see
finger?
the pink. You can see the top of the jersey area, you see it get caught up.
So he's kind of grimacing in pain there. And then when you get the close-up, you can kind of see, and people on social media, including our guy 3D, reading lips. I broke it.
See, I told you I get
Sounds
paid
like
for,
he said, I broke
paid
it.
for lip reading my other life.
All right, so Towns was asked about the situation after the game.
That's crazy.
I know your hand, was that a re-injury from something you were doing?
Oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, I just want to do whatever I can to be out there.
The lip readers on Twitter were saying, thought you said that you broke something.
It is what it is. I'm going to keep finding ways to play, so I ain't tripping.
Did you get an x-ray or anything?
I'm going to let them tell you that.
Some interesting answers, especially that last one about...
Must be real bright in there.
I like those shades, by those are nice shades.
I like them when you're in Hollywood and say, walking along the beach somewhere in South Beach or something.
Explain me, that's player speak right there. What is Karl Anthony Towns saying?
Well, I think he's being coy and until it officially comes out if it's broken or whatever it is. I think we were teasing earlier tonight. Whatever's going on and you're playing, you dress out for game 4, guys are going to be smacking at your hand, testing it, and you got to figure out a way. If Steph Curry has figured out a way to play with that thumb before the hamstring injury, you're going to figure out a play to make sure you can get something done in game 4.
Basically, he doesn't want to let on what's going on, obviously. Right. He knows he has a real injury, and if this was a regular season game, he would probably be down for maybe a couple of weeks or whatever it takes, but I'm not going to complain about it. It is what it is means I'm hurt. I'm going to play through it.
Right.
I'm going to play to my best of my abilities,
right.
And I'm not going to make this an excuse or a talking point. That's what it is means.
And especially if Towns is hurt or not 100%. I guess a lot of guys are not 100%, but Brunson needs help. A guy like OG Anunoby, 1 of 6 in this game, 2 points. I know he's not known for the scoring, but 2 points, it's got to be better than that.
Well, we talked about it before the game, Nabil. You're getting paid for who you are just at a higher level because you're on a bigger stage. 1 of 6, I'm not mad at the 1 of 6. It's how we got to the 1 of 6. I didn't see the same aggression that we saw on the road in Boston. Like you and I were talking before the game. When he got that dunk and the charge was called on him, it still uplifted the team of the effort of being aggressive all game long, and that helped them get back in the ball game and win on the road. I just didn't see that same feeling at home.
Yeah, and listen, obviously this game's only 2 points. The previous game, 5 points. Game 1, he had 29. Now, we don't expect 29, but he averaged 18 on the season. Mm-hmm. So he's somebody like the Knicks call upon him. The Knicks bench is not that
aggressive,
deep.
Yes.
Yeah, the Knicks bench is not that deep. That's been well documented. So they need their guys to go out there and do what they're going to do. It can't just be all Jalen Brunson or Karl Anthony Towns. OG Anunoby has a role on this team, and he has to look for a shot and give him a little bit more than he's given in the last 2 games.
Now, Jalen Brunson put it best. We can't flush this game. We got to learn from it, watch a film, get better for Game 4, which goes on Monday. Coming up on Sunday in the NBA as the playoffs continue here in the second round. Thunder and Nuggets, Denver leading that series. That gets going at 3:30 Eastern on ABC. followed by the Cavaliers and Pacers. Indiana up 2-1 in that series. You can see that at 8 Eastern on TNT. Coverage starting at 2:30 Eastern here on Playoff Central Live on NBA TV. All right, taking a look at the playoff bracket as it stands in the second round, and looking ahead to Sunday, you got OKC and Denver. Denver with that 2-1 series lead, and Indiana with the 2-1 series lead on Cleveland. So some thoughts here, especially with that Denver series, because you look at them getting that last game without Nikola Jokic playing at his best, and if OKC can actually just figure out that fourth quarter, the series might be a lot different.
Yeah, the series definitely could be a lot different when you look at how it has transpired. And Denver has been able to win the close games in the fourth quarter as opposed to OKC. But at the end of the day, which MVP candidate is going to play the best? Joker, obviously, I think he was 8 for 25 with 8 turnovers. On the flip side, SGA, 7 of 22. We know these guys are capable of great things. Game 3 was not their finest hour. Let's see who steps up game 4.
Yeah, to add to that, do the role players at home, like Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, those guys as forwards playing lights-out basketball, can they do that again?
Who's had a better playoff than Ron Gordon?
I can't think of nobody right now.
From a role player standpoint?
I can't think of nobody right now.
From any player standpoint.
From both ends of the floor, too, like defensively and, of course, the game-winning shots he's making.
He had a big 3 late in game 3.
Yes, indeed. Yes, he did.
And then there's the Cavs and Pacers. 2 quick prediction.
Hey, Spider-Man, keep doing what you're doing, Spider.
Hey, man. Spider-Man. That's what I'm going to go with.
All right, Brendan's going to be here all day on Sunday.
Man.
You'll see lots of Brendan on Sunday.
Man, it's Mother's Day, man. Y'all ain't going to come see me. My mom going to be all alone.